This is a place.
This is the place.
This is a place. We want to talk about. This is a place. Welcome to this week's episode of This is a Place podcast. My name is Nate.
And I'm Brandon.
And happy Put a Pillow on Your Fridge Day. I look forward to this day every year.
What?
I don't know what it is, but you put a pillow on your fridge day.
Put a pillow on your fridge day. What does that
Is there,
mean?
I don't know, but it's a tradition dating back to ancient Roman times.
Are you being serious?
I have no, they don't have fridges back then, you
It
weirdo.
actually dates back to 7000 BC. Which makes sense because they had so many pillows and
What?
fridges back then.
Yes.
All right, let's find out about it since you brought it up. It's meant to bring you prosperity and good fortune. The name of this day is quite literal, for on this day people are to put a pillow on their fridge for the magic to work. In the old tradition, people would put their pillows inside of their fridge for the ritual to work, but not everyone finds sleeping on a chilly pillow all that uncomfortable. I actually do like sleeping on a chilly pillow. That's
Mm.
one of the great
What, don't they
luxuries.
sell pillows like that? The cool pillows or whatever?
They do? I gotta buy one. It says pillows have come a long way from their rustic origins. It's believed that pillows have existed since 7000 BCE in early Mesopotamia. Back then they were made of stone, and while that couldn't have been the most comfortable, it is believed that they kept bugs from crawling into their mouths, noses, and ears. Egyptians believed that the head was the seat of spiritual life and used different materials like marble, ivory, stone, ceramic, and wood as pillows. Let's find out. When did this actually take place?
When it start?
Yeah.
It says the holiday originated in Europe in the early 1900s.
Where are you seeing this?
When families would put a piece of cloth or linen in their larders for good fortune. The modern tradition of putting a pillow in your fridge is a modern twist of the old tradition. And here are some ways to celebrate Put a Pillow on Your Fridge Day. Decorate your fridge with paint, fabric, markers, and construction paper. Throw a pillow party with games like Pin the Pillow on the Fridge. Take your pillow on a trip.
Hey,
Buy a new pillow. Fight with pillows. Pillow fight. There we go. Did you ever do pillow fights as a kid?
I still do them as an adult.
Oh, true. I can't sleep without a pillow. And first probably 6 months of my mission, I didn't really have a pillow. I had like this really thin piece of like foam. And then I was able to go over to Brazil and found like a regular market, and they had a cheap, probably the cheapest pillow you could, like, here we think it's like the cheapest pillow ever, but it was amazing to have like a pillow
They let you go to Brazil?
over there. Yeah, I was on the border a couple times on my mission, so they had a bridge that you walk across. They didn't like ask for your ID or anything like that, but you just cross the bridge
It
and
was the olden days,
the
right?
river, cross the river, and you were in it's called Jaguarão, Brazil. They didn't like you taking stuff back over, so you just take big backpacks and stuff over and hide it. It's probably the same thing as going to the movie theater and sneaking candy in. They don't probably care that you're doing it, but when you make it obvious, then they have to ask questions. But
Or like bringing fruit
I
into
never got
California.
stopped. Yeah, so I never got stopped. I've heard of missionaries getting stopped because everything was so much cheaper. I mean, when you got up closer to Brazil, stuff got cheaper. But even just like seriously, it was a river. It was like probably it was a good sized river, probably about 50-yard river. that you crossed over, and just that little river would make a difference of um probably stuff was 30 to 40% cheaper over there. It's crazy. So you go over there and get all, and that's where I found Oreos for the first time, I think.
You'd never
There's
had
some
Oreos before in your life, and you found them for the first
uh
time in Brazil.
for the first time. Yeah, first time down there.
They
So,
don't really
yeah,
have peanut butter too, you said,
they
right?
had they had cornflakes. No,
Or
we were
flakes?
talking about that this morning. Somebody was saying how like it costs so much money to send her brother $5 worth of candy to Africa. It was like $5 for the candy and like $40 to ship the package. I'm like, yeah. And I told her how like peanut butter was like gold for missionaries because they didn't have it down there, but it was just so doggone expensive to ship. So I always thought, I mean, I'm 20 plus years removed from my mission, but I always thought if I ever went back, I would take a big suitcase full of the probably dollar jars you get at Smith's of peanut butter and just take it to the mission home and be like, here you go. But I have never completed that bucket list item. And I still to this day, man, I love peanut butter.
Yeah, it's
Like I
pretty good.
loved it before the mission. I liked it before, but I think because of the fact being away from it for 2 years, basically. So I still love it.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Abstinence. I was way off.
Abstinence also works.
Yeah,
Good
sure.
point. So you, because of your love of pillows, are an avid supporter of this great holiday and will, if someone came to your house, they would find pin the tail on the pillow on your fridge.
I've done it every year that I found out about this tradition,
Hmm.
which is today.
I will follow up when it actually is today and see if you even remember. But however you're celebrating, store your pillow on top of your fridge day. Hope it's a good one. Hope everybody had an enjoyable Memorial Day as well. We just had that. And that's kind of the official start to summer, isn't it? Unofficial?
Yeah,
Official? How would you call it? That's summer
that's
begins.
yeah, that's the weekend, the swimming pools. So basically, swimming pools open up Memorial Day weekend, and then they shut them down Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, makes sense.
So
Laguna
so
Beach
you
opened
got
up this
you've
past weekend. I think I saw that.
yeah,
Weather permitting.
Memorial Day weekend. So yeah, so you can get your swimsuit out and start doing your swimming that you love to do all the time
Yeah,
in the summer.
right.
Because it's also National like flip-flop sandals day.
That is.
So
Tell you what though, you do not want to wear flip-flops playing sports.
I have a lot of Polynesian friends who play volleyball. A lot of their sports
All
they
right,
play in
volleyball, okay.
flip-flops.
There's one
They play
sport that
like
definitely,
flip-flops and or just barefoot. It's amazing. Can't do it. I couldn't do it.
but at least there's one sport I would say flip-flops are a no-go, and that would be soccer or football. Would you agree? Probably not the best to play with flip-flops.
No, probably not. Even though I'm sure people do. They do it in Karate Kid.
Oh yeah?
They're at the beach. They're playing on the beach with no shoes on.
You know what? People probably do, and it's probably fine. People are used to it. People probably play. No, people definitely play soccer barefoot.
Well, absolutely.
But I just wanted
Soccer.
to try and transition to our topic for the day because we're talking about soccer.
If you believe, then just stand up on your feet and shout it loud, Real. Here at the Rock, the battle hymns begun. We're here for all ransom.
That is all right. Let's just start off. You're not the biggest fan of soccer, Is that fair to say? That
Well,
maybe you
my
don't like
my
soccer.
my dad didn't allow us to play communist sports.
For real?
So no, he didn't care. My older brother and older sister both played like a couple seasons of soccer, and then when they got to me, they're like, no, no. And I never played. So I've never really played like an organized or like on a of 11 on 11 soccer. I've done indoor soccer. I've played pick some kind of pickup games of soccer, but I have never really competed in the soccer arena. But my daughter loves it. My daughter plays it. I've coached her teams a bunch of times. The team she's on now, oh, they just got done playing for the season. It's so hard for me to watch because they her I mean I appreciate the fact that somebody wanted to coach but he has no idea what he's doing and the kids are just I mean they got talent to win but they're like District 5 on Mighty Ducks with no direction so it's really hard for me to watch but hopefully next season she wants to switch teams or try something else but
Not hard enough for you to step up and coach yourself.
I would. She was on another team for a couple seasons, and I actually helped the guy out a little bit, coach. And like when he couldn't make it to the games, I would coach. And then all of a sudden, my daughter's like, "Oh, I don't really know the kids. They all go to different schools, blah blah blah. I want to switch to a different team." And then she's on this one, and I'm just like, anyways. So I didn't put forth effort to try to help out the coach or anything like that. But like I kept saying, I'm like, just give me 2 weeks with these kids. Give me 2 weeks. I'll Emilio Estevez these guys, and they'll be district champions, and they'll
Hmm.
win states.
Win
But
states.
anyways, they'll win states. Um, but yeah, soccer is it's it's a tough sport to get into, I think. And I get people who say that hockey is also boring, but at least in hockey, they've got so many
Nonstop
shots on
action.
goal. It's so fast. Um, like anything can happen. Soccer, like there's just a lot of sitting around, I feel like. And but at the same time, like most sports that you don't really understand or are hard to watch on TV are actually pretty fun to see in person. So I do enjoy going to RSL games just for the chant alone, just so I can sing the whole time and hear the drum section. Dun, 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 dun.
And the horn.
And the horns and all the fun things you learn about life from what people yell. Unless you sit in the family section, then you're usually pretty safe. But I have a lot of fun. I have fun every time I go to a Real game. I think it's been probably a good year or two since I've been to a game, but I've probably been to at least a dozen or so games over my lifespan
Says we've had a team.
since we've had a team. And then we even have the Monarchs too, which I've never been to one of those games. No,
And
no, I
the
have been.
and the
I've been to one of the
Royals.
Monarchs games in the Royals
I don't know the
back when they were
difference
playing.
between those two. And we're not
I'm
going to
like,
dig
which
into it
one's
today.
which? Which one's which? But we're here for RSL.
We're here for RSL. Here for RSL.
But they're fun. And
My
they kick the ball and they try to kick it in the goal. And you like go, oh,
ah,
even though even though it goes 500 feet.
that
Wasn't
sums
there
it
like
up.
a video somebody made like if all the other sports were soccer and like the guy's going to do a layup and then he throws the ball like 10 feet over the basket or you know what I mean? Or throwing a football. It's just like it's funny how often they kick it way over the net. You're like, you guys are professionals. You do this for a living. Like,
It's hard,
just seems
man.
odd.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah, my relationship with soccer is kind of similar to yours. I did play a couple years. I played when I was like preschool age, indoor, and then I got really sick and got asthma, and I stopped playing for a bit. Then I went back to it and I played outdoor for maybe 2 or 3 years. But they always put me at goalie, and I didn't like being goalie because they'd kick the ball and it'd get in my stomach and make me writhe in pain. So I didn't keep playing, but I've always liked soccer. Played a little bit on the mission because that's what you do when you're Spanish speaking. People that speak Spanish tend to like soccer. Yeah, and I even got into the last time they had the World Cup. I watched quite a few
Yeah.
games.
World Cup's fun, but
Yeah.
let's be honest, any sport where there's something big on the line is
Mm,
interesting.
yeah.
Like if you think about it, I was talking to my wife about this other day, Michael Phelps
Mm-hmm.
with swimming. Who watched swimming or paid that much attention to it? And now that he's gone, like, yeah, we still have a little bit of interest in it, but when there's a record to be beat or something major on the line, we all care.
Fair.
So, but
That's
World
fair.
Cup is fun. It is fun. It's I even went to the Delta Center one year to watch one of the World Cup games when USA was actually doing pretty good.
Oh,
That
really?
was fun. It was kind of fun being in the arena and cheering, watching on the Jumbotron. But that's not what we're talking about. We're here for
That's not
RSL.
what we're talking about. We're just giving you our backgrounds, just setting the precedent. All that being said, I watched a little World Cup, played a little soccer. Don't have any aversion to soccer, but I'm not going on my way to watch it, right? And this was actually my first time ever going to an RSL game this past, well, when you're listening to this, it's been a while, but I went to a
This past
game
month.
sometime in May. I went to a game. Guess it was on the 15th. Went to the game. It was RSL against the Seattle whoever's.
Supersonics?
Seattle Supersonics. That's who they were playing.
Isn't it Sounders? Is
I
that
think
what they
it's,
are?
yeah, Sounders. And they kind of have the same, maybe not the same, but similar colors to the Seahawks. Kind of that
Mm-hmm.
light
Yeah.
green
Yeah.
variation. So, anyways, I was pleasantly surprised. I got our tickets through the Get Out Pass, which you
Ooh.
have used in the past. I think you
Yeah.
have a
I
voucher that you've
I
been
bought
on for the
one.
last 5 years.
I haven't redeemed my voucher yet. I wonder if it still works.
They'd be like, I'm sorry, you cannot use this any longer. So that's a perk if you get the Get Out Pass. Not a sponsor, should be, but not a sponsor.
Should be.
Is that every once in a while, it's not always, you can't just go on and be like, I want to go to this game. They only do certain times when they release RSL tickets. So they released a bunch of them, and I picked some. And our seats were in the ADA section. So we were actually sitting on folding chairs over in the southeast end zone. What would you call it?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like how they just were those just
I don't know
what?
if that was just because those are the tickets they released for the Get Out pass, but
Or
they
they
were
just
really good
assume
seats. Like they weren't bad. I was There were people in our
that's
seats trying to
interesting.
kick them out and be like, "Hey, these are ours." But that's where we
Some
sat.
some mean guy brought his wheelchair and took up all the room, so we kicked him.
It wasn't wheelchair people. It's just a bunch of kids, okay? I wasn't kicking out somebody in a wheelchair. But I don't know. It was weird, but it was cool. Like the seats were really good because we weren't really in the thick of the people, as you mentioned. We're not with the rowdy bunch. I mean, we could see the rowdy bunch in the south. What do you call it?
Yeah,
The south end of the field, I guess.
the South Side, yeah. Well, don't they
And
have, do they have two different sections still playing the drums?
I'm not sure. I only
So
noticed the
the
one.
South Side used to have a drum section, my understanding was, And then there was another group that brought drums as well, and they were like fighting. And so they had to move one of the
Mm,
drum sections over. I think they were on the east side, like kind of like the northeast side. And then they kept the one in the south. So it was just like, it was almost like an echo. Dun, 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 dun.
I didn't notice
But
that. I couldn't see another drum section on the east
they
side.
might have made amends, or maybe decided to get rid of one, or I don't know. I feel like that was something that happened, but I could have made it up too. Who knows?
Could be a lie.
But
Yeah,
if you
pretty
believe,
pretty economical for us to go, because of I mean, it was included in the cost of our Get Out Pass, and I just had to buy the kids' tickets separately. So not bad. It was pretty good seats, I think. And I gotta say, I loved it. I had I could go to RSL games all the time.
yeah,
I
it's fun.
I feel like, and I probably will feel like this with hockey too. I feel like an outsider looking in when I go to things like this, or when I've gone to a Monster Jam or a motocross or whatever. I feel like there's this whole other world of fans that know everything that's going on. They're involved in
Hmm.
it. They're always at these things, and I'm like, I don't know these people. I know they exist, but I don't know, you know, no one in my world.
It's
And so when I go there to game, like I don't know our players. I've heard the names, but I don't know what's going on. I didn't realize that Utah is the number one team in the West right now, which is pretty cool.
I knew that
Yeah, I found that out, and they won the game. They did pretty good. And
because I
then
like sports. I like sports, so I follow sports.
yeah,
I watch sports news.
do
You
you feel like
you
I what I'm explaining though? Does that make sense? That feeling?
like you don't fit in.
Yeah, I guess that I don't fit in. I'm just kind of an outsider. Like I'm gonna just come and show up to this one game, and then I'm never gonna show my face again this season.
Yeah,
Whereas
I
if
mean the
I were to
good
go
thing
to
about soccer is that it's pretty simple. It's a
yeah,
pretty simple sport to understand. You're like they're trying to kick in that goal. I mean, offsides people still kind of struggle with, but I'm like it's really not that complicated. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward, right? The other team
right.
kicks out of bounds, the other team gets the ball. So where I can understand with like hockey is a little bit more complex because you're like, what's icing, what's offsides? The one sport that I still feel way like an outsider and I just don't quite understand is rugby. I've
Hmm.
watched so many rugby games. At the 7-on-7, I feel like I follow a bit easier, but like I don't I don't understand rugby all too much. That's one like if I went to the Utah, when we should go to a Warriors game.
Yeah, we should.
Um, I have a hard time like understanding like what's going on. Soccer is easier to figure out. Like, yeah, the only thing that I do not like about soccer, and I think they need to change, there's a lot of stuff. I think like if they just adapted or stole some ideas from hockey, it would make soccer so much better. But a game should never end in a tie. If they end in a tie, then maybe they both get a point and then they play for a shootout for an extra point or something like that. It's so dumb that you can go and watch them play for 90 minutes and then it can end in a 0-0 tie. It just seems strange to me.
I guess maybe it's not as much that I don't understand the sport, but I just feel like such an outsider when I go to something like this. Like as I
Yeah.
mentioned, the same. I went to Monster Jam last year, and when I went there, I'm like, oh, there's this is a whole thing. There's like a season, and they're competing. It's just not here. We're gonna bring monster trucks to your city, and that's what we do.
And go vroom, vroom, vroom.
And of course, I know with RSL that they're competing for something, but I don't know. It's just those little things that make me feel as an outsider. Whereas if I were to go to a Jazz game or a BYU game, I'm fully in it and I know what's going on. you know.
Well, define which BYU game you're going to,
A
though.
BYU football
You're going to a
game. Sorry, excuse
football
me.
game or a basketball game.
I'd say basketball or football. I'd be pretty in the know. But
So you ever seen Anchorman and Steve Carell's character when they're
yes,
just all every time they scream and stuff, and he's like, "Come on, man!" So that's like you
loud
at the real.
noises.
That's like you at the Real game when they're like, "Oh, come on, man!" You have no idea why they're
No,
yelling
no,
at the
no, no, no,
ref,
no.
but you're
I don't not like that. It's just that I feel like maybe I'm an imposter. Maybe that's the feeling I'm getting. Like I'm
okay. So you
pretending that
understand the game. You
I
understand the
understand what's going
game, but
on.
you're just like you're just not. It's not your thing. What you're
Like I
saying.
didn't not even that it's not my thing. It's I even showed up. I didn't have any RSL gear, so I didn't have anything to wear. I
Okay.
actually had
I
a
do have that. I have plenty of RSL gear.
I had a Red Bulls shirt, which I debated wearing, but decided not to because that's not the team that we have, and that team wasn't even playing. So I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just an imposter that I don't want to. I'm showing up, and people are going to think you know what's going on and you know where the team stands and how many matches they've won or whatever. I don't know what it is. It's just the feeling I get when I walk into something that's new to me or I'm not
It's kind of
practiced.
like me at Comic Con. Like I get it,
There
but
you
it's
go.
not my thing. Like I just felt like out of my like this is
I don't belong here.
not for me. I don't belong here.
Yeah.
I can't talk the lingo with them. I don't know what half the crap
Unless
cosplay
they
stuff
quiz you
is.
on the Ewoks, then you can hold your own.
Ewoks or Street Fighter or something like that.
Yeah. Those are the niche things, you know.
So I get it.
Niche
Like
things, you know.
you just didn't fit in.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't fit in. But that being said, I had a fun time. The kids had a fun time. It was we got to see two goals, so that's fun. It's not fun when you do have a game that there's
Was it
no
a close
goals being
game?
scored. What was it
Was
close? I mean,
maybe it
there's
wasn't a game.
another thing with
Somebody like
soccer.
said they went to the maybe it was last week. Somebody said they went to a game last
Oh yeah,
or a couple
A-
and they said it was like one of the best games they've ever been to. And I'm
against
like,
the
I don't know what the score was or
Rapids,
something.
Colorado
I don't know
Rapids, I
who it
think.
was.
It
Maybe
was yeah, it was
was
the same week, but not the one I went to. But it was they were
okay.
down 3-2 and then they scored and went up 5-2 to win the game or something like that. It was like within a couple of minutes, it was crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been to a couple games like that. Remember, I think it was like the game and last game of the season. I took Rocky to it about 5 years ago, and like if they did something, I can't remember. There was like we got all this free stuff because like we got a free Chick-fil-A sandwich, and then they made like a free kick goal, which gave us a free haircut at Great Clips, and then they
Mm,
gave out something else. So I'm like, oh man, we actually made money going to this game.
yeah.
And it ended up being like a really close game team or last second win. It was a fun game. So like that's fun, but I get it. It's like not your thing. It's
No,
like
I'm not
me
even
going
saying it's
to
not my thing.
it's like me going to the
The ballet.
Death Cab for Cutie concert.
Mm, there you go. That's a good
I get
comparison.
it. I get music. I get why everybody's there, but I didn't feel like I enjoyed it as much as true fans did.
And maybe I should get more involved in it because I enjoyed it. The kids enjoyed it. We didn't stay for the whole thing. We left a little early because we wanted to beat the crowd. And we took tracks, so we wanted to get back to our car and everything. It's a cool big venue, the
Yeah.
America First Stadium.
I know it's hard to get to not say Rio Tinto anymore, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't realize until recently that it was America First. Until there was that controversy of there was some team came and were losing their minds because it was the jersey said America First. So I think they thought it was like a Trump thing or something. Yeah, that was a real thing.
I didn't know that.
So they didn't want to play because of that or something. They're like, this is the name of our local credit union and our stadium, so sorry. Like,
That's
We're not we're not being
has
racist or
nothing.
anything. It's
That's funny.
just
I've never even thought of it that way.
really.
It kind of makes sense now, America first. I just never thought of it like, oh,
Well, because when I
America
first heard that, I
first.
thought he just was a big supporter of the local credit union. I'm like, oh yeah, America First, great place. So, but yeah, I've only been there. It was only my third time at the stadium. I went to
Really?
when I did when I played football, we served concessions there to help earn money for the team, or whatever we had to pay. And so I did that, and I think it was an RSL game. I can't remember. I couldn't see anything. I was just serving dessert nachos. And the other time I went to a Journey concert there.
Hmm.
So it was cool to actually go there and see what it's used for as a soccer field. And I don't know, any of our stadiums, any of our arenas here in Utah, pretty pretty good looking pretty good looking place.
Yeah. I've probably mentioned this before, but my friend used to have a cleaning business, commercial cleaning business, and he had a contract for the stadium.
What would he
So he
clean?
was able, the stadium after they were done, the events.
Oh, like cleaning up
Like he had,
the
yeah,
seats and
like
stuff?
he had the contract for Rio Tinto at the time. So after the games were over, they would go through and clean the stadium, or they would set up the stadium for concerts and all that stuff. So
Hmm.
if I ever wanted to go to a Real game or a concert or anything, he would just meet me outside and give me one of his company badges, tags, and I'd get in, and then I'd give it back to him when I got inside. And he's like, "You're on your own." And you just go find a place to stand or sit or whatever.
Oh, you were one of the
So I
people sitting
saw
in my seats.
that's probably why, yeah. Uh, so I saw like Neil Diamond, I saw Kiss, I think it's somebody else, few RSL games. It was good times.
Needs to get that contract back.
Yeah, I think so. That'd be nice.
Yeah, it's a cool place, a cool, fun thing to do. So I'd say it's not terribly expensive to go to the games. I think
No.
relatively speaking, it's pretty economical. But eat before because the concessions are not economical.
Yeah.
I spent more on the concessions after the fact than I did on the tickets because it just, I had to keep the kids pleased with the popcorn and they make you buy the commemorative tin or whatever, the popcorn holder.
You're a good dad. I don't do that for my kids. They know.
Well, if I want to keep them happy and being okay being at the game, then I have to do things like that. So we had some popcorn, we had some churros. I got some tacos, which were pretty good tacos. But yeah, I feel like I want to go to more Real games. I had a good time, and I googled before I looked it up. Of course, there's the one everybody knows, but they've got a lot of chants. They've got 14 chants at least listed on the RSL website.
Really?
So if you want to learn them all, you can get them there. But there's really just the one you need to know to be a part of the club. You get to sing it when you score a goal. But it's so weird to me, just the environment of a soccer game compared to other games. Like fans get rowdy at basketball or football games, right? But the fact that they let them have their own band gear, playing the drums and the horns, that's so wild to me. The big
Yeah.
flags, like it's so foreign to what I'm used to. And I get it because that's how it is all over the world. So you do the same thing here, but have you seen basketball games in Europe and places like that? They have fire going off. They've got crazy things happening in the crowd. I think we need to bring that energy to the NBA and
What's
America.
funny, because we've got people kicked out of games for calling like a basketball player stupid or you
Right.
suck. But I don't know if you were close enough to hear what some of the fans yell,
Luckily, I
especially at the
wasn't.
opposing goalie. Holy crap, man. They
They hear it
they
all.
don't hold back at yelling at him and telling him how bad he is and all that stuff.
And
But it
things
seems
about his
funny
mom.
because yeah, exactly. So uh yeah, just half. even a quarter of what they say to the opposing goalie, they would be kicked out of a Jazz game in a heartbeat, and probably even a football game at that matter.
Yeah.
It's just interesting, the different types of sports. Hockey's kind of that way too. I don't know the NHL that way, but the Grizzly games, they harass the other players. Just seems
Right.
weird that basketball games were like, nope, don't talk to him.
Don't even look at them.
Don't make eye contact.
Don't judge it. Don't even look at it. Yeah, it's just a different environment. It's fun. It's fun to be there and see how different it is. And I think that's what makes it. I probably wouldn't go and watch RSL games on the TV still.
I will. I will. I mean, my daughter likes soccer, so if there are still games on, we'll watch it. And then I watch it to make sure I can get my free McDonald's, my free fries when they win.
Ah, right. Maybe I should. Maybe I should try watching it.
I mean,
But
I can watch an RSL game, and I think it brings up a point I was thinking about yesterday is if we didn't have a team here, I would have no clue ever what was going on with Major League Soccer or care. Maybe I would like pay attention to when the championship game was, like, okay. But
maybe.
for the fact that we have a team here, I pay a little bit of attention to it. That's why I knew they were top of the standings. Um, and I kind of feel like that might be the same way with hockey coming to Utah, is that people will
Mm.
start paying attention to NHL playoffs and all that stuff and know what's going on
I mean,
just because it's here.
so we've had RSL founded in 2004 and began playing in 2005. It was an expansion team, right?
Yeah.
And it's crazy. They are the only team that's given Utah of big
Professional
sports
championship.
a national championship, right?
Well, did we win like an ABA or whatever championship or something like that? I don't know.
A
But
what?
did we not win like the basketball one or something when it was, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking something else, but as far as the professional sports that we
I
know,
mean,
that's the
Grizzlies
first.
Grizzlies have won it before, right?
Sure, but that's still minor leagues, and I'm
Minor
sure
league, right?
the
So even if you
Trappers or
look at
Bees are
we don't have a basketball championship in NBA or in college, right? Or did we say
right.
Utah did win? No, Utah hasn't won. They made it to the final championship game, but haven't won.
I think Utah
And
won the NIT tournament when it was bigger back
NIT,
in
okay.
way back in the day. That's what I'm saying. Like in the modern era
And
with
BYU has the
sports we know.
1994 national championship. But
Hmm.
outside of that, it's just been RSL. They're the only ones that have really given us
Professional team.
yeah, and I guess they're now one of three professional teams, right? But I would kind of throw the
Well,
college
four.
football.
You forget the Utah Warriors rugby team,
Oh,
technically
true.
professional team.
My mistake. Sorry.
Don't want to make them mad. Those guys will dump you.
Oh yeah, they will. So anyway, I think that's pretty cool. And they when was it the RSL one? Was it 2010?
Yeah, I did watch that. Did you watch it that season at all or no?
I didn't.
I watched that game. I remember watching that game.
I've seen the clips from it, but I didn't watch it. Was the goalie's name Ramondo?
Nick,
See, I know the names. I know the things. I'm not an
you got them
imposter.
all. Yeah, they kind of went downhill after John Stockton and Karl Malone left, though.
But I don't know. It's kind of been fun. I've kind of been interested in soccer lately. My wife and I have been watching Ted Lasso the last little
Okay.
bit, so it's kind of been a soccer time at our household. So it was fun to go to the game. Do I think I'm going to go to another one this year? Probably not, but if the opportunity presented itself, I definitely would.
If anybody has free tickets, let us know.
That's what I'm saying. If anybody's got a pass that can get us in, get us some free tickets, we would not decline unless we had something else better going on, of course.
Yeah, my friend has season tickets for years, and then he invited me. That's where I went to a lot of games with was with him. but now he has boys old enough who care to go. So I feel like the only time he now text me to see if I want tickets, it's like an hour before because it's like raining or snowing, and I'm like, hey, I'm not going to go watch a game in this
Yeah,
crappy
that
weather.
that one game they had that was a blanket of snow on the field this
Yeah,
year.
yeah. So, but yeah, they've been pretty faithful. They've been season ticket holders, I think, the whole time. I have not been a season ticket holder.
Neither have I. Well, I'd say if you haven't been, check it out. It's definitely a good time. Even if you're not a soccer person, it's a fun environment to get
It
into.
is. It's fun to be outside too. I think that's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, and especially now the weather's nice. It's a great time to get outside and go to a soccer game.
Yeah. But the worst time to go watch one of those games is like in the middle of the day in July when it's bloody hot. But I've done that
Yeah.
before.
That's
But
another
the
nice
night
thing about where
games,
we were sitting
most,
is it was shaded the whole time.
yeah, but night games are fun. They're a lot of fun.
Well, let us know if you've been to a RSL game, what you like about it, what's your
And
favorite
if you
part,
believe,
and if you believe in RSL. Sing it for us, Nate.
we're here for RSL. If you believe, then just stand up on your feet and shout it out, Real. Is that how it goes? Or shout it loud.
It
I don't
actually has
know.
been in my head a lot lately, and I've only heard it, well, a couple times, but I was even singing it, and my
Uh,
daughter picked up. That is another fun thing, too, is
oh,
since went to the game, and it's funny, we pass this kind of bodega type thing by our house every once in a while, especially as take her to school, and they've got a sign for advertising alcohol, but it's got the RSL sign on it. She's like, "Hey, it's our soccer team." So that's kind of fun to just see her recognition, and even though it's for alcohol.
Dad, can we get a beer?
That's our team. We need to drink that drink. They've already got her. The marketing's already getting to the kids.
So here it is. If you believe, then just stand up on your feet and shout it loud, Real. Here at the riot, the battle hymns begun. We're here for RSL. It's funny that we're speaking of Real, even though it's spelled real, Salt Lake Real, but
Right.
a real is going back to Brazil. Real is their
Mm.
currency. Los
Is that where is
reales.
that where it comes from?
I wonder. I'm guessing. I don't know. I guess
And
we should
there's
have done some research.
Real Madrid, right?
Yeah, yeah. Didn't they come and play us a couple years ago?
I don't know.
I think they did. I think they did. They did like an exhibition game.
This could be a fun year to watch because you've got Messi's first year playing in Miami. So Utah keeps doing really well. I think they're doing pretty good. Maybe they could end up playing each other. Messi could be coming to Utah, right? It could happen. What's the soccer team where he plays? Miami FC.
I don't know.
Yeah, his team's number one in the East. We're number one in the West. So all I'm saying, folks, if you want to watch, this might be a season to do it because they're doing pretty good. You might have an encounter with one of. Is he the greatest to ever play? Is he the
Yeah,
GOAT?
I think they put him up there. Not the greatest. I think there's a debate on who's the greatest. We don't have like a clear coat or clear cut goat like LeBron James in soccer
Shut
yet.
up. You stop it right now.
You stop right there. Just a good question. Do you think Tom Brady is the GOAT of quarterbacks?
Yeah,
Hmm.
you don't think so?
I just don't I just don't know if I would pick him over Peyton Manning if I had to pick a team to, you know what I mean, an all-star team to go compete against each other.
I guess maybe he had the most success of anyone.
Yeah.
Does that make him the
Oh
greatest of
yeah.
all time?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Patrick Mahomes will end up being the GOAT.
I think that could be it. I think that could be it.
He can move. Tom Brady could not.
This is very true.
I don't
Anyways,
know. We'll have to hash out the GOAT conversation after we finish our Harry Potter series. Thank you for listening to This Is a Place podcast.
and this was a team we just talked about.